Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to be doing a live commentary, sort of like a guide or a walkthrough for anyone who might be a new player coming to Dead by Daylight in 2024. Now, yeah, there are actually a lot of new people that are still playing this game or trying this game out for the first time, so there are plenty of guides and tutorials on YouTube, but I want to have a video from the kind of the live ongoing thought process that I'd be having in a game. So we're going to be doing this from the perspective of someone who has already done the tutorial here that's now in the game, and maybe has some experience, has watched some YouTube videos, has watched some Twitch streams on DBD, but I want to kind of go through the thought process in real time of trying to survive your first trial. So depending on which version of DBD you have, or maybe you have a DLC family sharing on Steam, you'll have few of these survivors available, but everyone should have everyone from Dwight through Nia. So we're going to go ahead and pick Meg. Very common starting survivor. And as you probably already know, each survivor has 3 perks that come with them. And in order to use a survivor's perks on another one, you have to prestige a survivor by spending your points in the blood web over here. But anyway, we're going to start off with Meg, and we're going to choose some of the free perks for this first round. Some of the starter perks that are not linked to any survivor in particular. And so let's go ahead and use Deja Vu, very popular, got buffed in the past year. What this one does is it shows you the 3 generators on the map that are closest to each other. We're also going to use Kindred. In my opinion, is kind of almost mandatory at some times for surviving in solo queue. We're also going to take We'll Make It, another free perk that can be unlocked again in the blood web. The last one, we're going to actually use Adrenaline. So Adrenaline is one of Meg Thomas's teachable perks again. So if you want to use that on all your survivors, you have to go to this blood web over here, spend points until you reach level 50, and then once you reach level 50, you prestige it once, and then you can use it, start unlocking it on other characters. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. So we've got our perks. 3 free perks that you can unlock from in everyone's blood web. Let's look at items. So you have a lot of different items to choose from. When you're starting out, you really just want to choose between a medkit and a toolbox. Medkits are generally the most useful. Now you have an item, you have add-ons. I'm just going to choose some basic ones. Just so you know, each medkit has 24 charges right now. It takes 16 charges to fully heal someone, but it takes 24 to heal yourself. So it's a little less efficient on trying to heal yourself. Offerings, doesn't really matter what you bring. I'm just going to go with 25% bonus in all categories. Pretty standard. In the meantime, some of the things you're going to be seeing on the screen here, there is a lot of information in DBD. Here are just some challenges you can choose to get more points. There's in other games might call it like a battle pass, but here they call it a rift, where you can get some rewards down here for playing the game and spending way too many hours on it. So again, part of the reason I wanted to do this kind of video is that there's a difference between watching a tutorial or listening to tips on YouTube and actually getting into the in-game mindset and how you want to be thinking about surviving, or how you want to be thinking about what you should be doing each moment during the game. The other reason I wanted to is because I am relatively new to DBD. I've only been playing for a little more than a year. I started January 2023. So I wanted to use my somewhat freshness in the game to try and cover some of the points that I found confusing, or some of the big realizations that I made in the past year of playing. There's nothing wrong, of course, with people who have played this game since it came out in 2016, I believe. But, when you're only fresh to a game once, and I think that offers some unique perspective, right? Now on this screen, it's going to show you what everyone's offerings were if they brought one. Looks like someone brought us some points. Someone brought a rejection, so this one rejects any map offering that might have happened. And someone brought the purple one was just to make the mist or the fog on the map a little thicker. Now when you first start playing the game, each time or each of the first few times you play a new killer, this loading screen will actually tell you which killer you're going to be facing that match, which I think is pretty smart by DBD to include that. Obviously right now it doesn't say it, but you might get some in-game tips on the bottom. And there are a lot of killers in the game, so it's going to take quite a lot of time for you to get used to their powers and what they do. So don't be Don't be, worried if you're very confused for the first while. Alright. We loaded in what's called the Killer Shack, and we immediately saw, did you see that guy creeping in the corner over there? That's Ghostface. So there are a few stealth killers in the game. Jesus Christ, dude. He scares the shit out of me. I am not a fan of getting jump scared, so I don't like playing against stealth killers that much. So we're at Killer Shack right now, is what this building is called. There's one on most maps. We're gonna take that hit and run away from him. The idea, the big picture idea, anytime you're getting chased by the killer, is just to waste as much of their time as possible. The entire game of DBD is just like a time management game. You want to prevent the killer from being productive, while you yourself and your team are being productive getting 5 of the 7 generators done. So, not a great first chase. We would have ideally liked that to last longer, but that's okay. We're going to hit our wiggle skill checks here, just in case he gets lost. And now when you're on the hook, or when you're down in the dying state, you can see where all of your teammates are at. And right now, since I'm on the hook right now, you see how it's highlighting the killer in pink? That's for everyone. That's from the perk Kindred. So it helps, it shows your teammates the killer's location when he's within 14 meters of your hook. And it also shows your teammates the locations of every other person on your team while you're on the hook. Very useful for the solo survivor experience. Looks like Fang's got us here. The killer's far away right now, so we'll go ahead and heal here. If you're against a ranged killer, or you think the killer might be close, you really don't want to be healing under hook, because a lot of the times they'll come straight back and try and target you while you're weak. Anyway, so what I was trying to say before I got so rudely interrupted, the entire game is really about time management. So the biggest, generally speaking, the biggest mistake, quote unquote, that new survivors can be making is just wasting time. At every point in the game, you need to be doing something or on your way to do something. So if you're not healing your teammate, you need to be on gen. If you're not, you can't be, you have to be doing something, because here comes Ghostface. Do you see him? He's right there. He's trying to get a... So what he's trying to do, he's trying to stalk us. And I'm having a hard time revealing him for some reason. He's trying to stalk us, because if he stalks us enough, you become a 1-hit down instead of a 2-hit for him. So he's going to come after us. A very common and kind of a boring tactic. We're going to get blocked by Claudette here for some reason. So another thing you don't want to do as a survivor is get in the way of your teammates while they're trying to run away from the killer, like that Claudette kind of did. Anyway, what I was about to say, just to finish off, is that a lot of killers will try and target one survivor. It's kind of frowned upon in a way, but it is technically the most efficient way for the killer to win. If you can get into the 3v1 scenario, that is way, way better in basically any circumstance. So like I mentioned, there are a lot of different killers in the game, and they all have different powers, right? Every survivor is essentially the same as one another, and they just change based on what perks you give them, but each killer has a power that's completely unique to them. Ghostface, he can stalk you, he can go undetectable, so you won't hear his terror radius, they call it, as he's approaching at times, and then he can stalk you. And as you see here on the left side of my screen, those people with the red circles, they now have a 60-second timer on them, for which they are considered a 1-hit down. And so the way you stop that from happening to you is, if Ghostface is trying to stalk you, you actually have to look at him. You have to turn your camera towards him from behind cover. But that's something you'll just learn over time as you play against more and more killers. He's picking up... who is that? Jake? Picking up Jake, and he's going to put him on a hook. As you can see by the indicators on the left side in the HUD. I'm actually going to hide on this side of the gen so he can't really see me. And instead of going for the first person that's on the hook right now, I'm going to wait for him to pick up the second person and hook them, and then I'm going to go for the second person now. because I can, as you can see from Kindred, he's kind of going away from this hook. But it's sort of just a tendency anyway, when a killer hooks two people, they love to just go straight back to the first person they hooked. So I didn't want to go to the first person that got hooked, because that's where the killer would be going. Now keep in mind, you can only be hooked twice per game, and then the third time you get hooked, you're dead. And with each hook stage, they call it, you have, I believe, 60 seconds until you reach the second stage of the hook. So you can only stay on there for 60 seconds before that counts as sort of like another life taken from you. Now we're actually going to finish this gen, and I'm going to get adrenaline here because we were injured and we just finished the last gen. And we have a little speed boost to go with it. There's still a pallet here for us. Don't have a lot of space to run, but looks like he's kind of going back to hook. I'm a little concerned. There is a very infamous perk in this game called No One Escapes Death, which means it spawns a totem which, until cleansed, everyone is a one-hit kill. Now, we won't know he has it until he tries to hit them with someone. So there, he hits someone. We know he doesn't have it. That's good. The exit gate that we need to open is right there, but I actually want to go heal our teammates. In this case, that person that just got downed is not dead on hook. So we have some time to heal up, reset, and then go save him. I'm actually going to use my medkit here, because I don't know where the killer's at, and he could be nearby. He's probably staying close to the hook right now, waiting for us to try and go rescue that person, but I'm not sure. Oh, there he is. That's not good. We might be exposed very soon. Oh, nice. We're not. Okay. He's going after that person. That's not good. So it's kind of surprising that Ghostface didn't stay close to this hook right now. That's not really what you expect, usually. Now, in this case, it's working out for him. He's probably going to get a kill here. But it's not what you usually expect. Yeah, we're not going to make it to the gate, unfortunately. But that's alright. We got 3 of our 4 teammates out. They should be able to open that gate and get out of there before he gets back. So long, Meg, but we did alright. We did alright for our first game. Didn't teach you to survive, but that's how it is. On average, each game ends with 2 survivors dying. I think the average is a 60% kill rate for killers, so a little more than 2 survivors dying per trial. We're gonna go ahead, let's spectate real quick. And yeah, they all made it out, so I think Ghostface is giving them some silly little moonwalks at the end. Believe it or not, this is not a horror game, guys. This is actually just a cute PvP game, if you didn't know. The sillier you, in my opinion, the sillier you are in this game, the better. But anyway. Let's go ahead and go next. But yeah, not too bad of a first game for this little walkthrough. Again, it would have been nice if we survived, but we got targeted right from the beginning of the game and then right off our first hook, so getting it through, not too bad in that scenario. Okay, for our second game, we're going to hop on over to Dwight, another one of the free original characters. Let's change our loadout a bit this time. So I'm going to clear this one, and you can have 3 loadouts per character up here that get saved. But conveniently last year, Behavior finally added in a search bar for all your perks, which is nice. I only had to play this game for a few months without a search bar. I can't imagine what it was like to play 6 years without a search bar. Anyway, let's try a new build again with perks that everyone will have. We're going to take 2 of Dwight's teachable perks this time. We're going to take Bond, which shows the auras of all your teammates within a 36-meter range of you, grouped by self. So this is a generator repair perk. it gives you a 10% bonus. It gives each person working on a gen with you a 10% speed bonus. One of Claudette's teachable perks, botany knowledge, increases your healing speed by 50% as long as you're not using a med kit. Alright, so careful. We're going to take self-care, but as a new player, you have to keep in mind there is a time to heal yourself and there's a time to just do gens. It's very, very slow to heal yourself. So you should only take self-care if you're also taking botany knowledge, which speeds this up. And even then, you got to be careful not to be, getting injured, healing yourself, getting injured, healing yourself, and then just never touching a gen. That's a really big time waster that can happen. And moving on, since we have botany self-care to heal others and to heal ourselves, we're going to take a toolbox this time. The best toolbox is actually this green one and this green one, not the purple ones that you might find. We're going to take an escape cake. It gives you 100% blood point in all categories, so that's very popular. So you'll notice that I've picked a mix of information perks, healing perks, and generator perks in these last two games. Last game we took Deja Vu, this time we're taking Prove Thyself. We took Kindred last time, this time we're just going to take Bond. Last time I took a med kit, this time we're going to take Botany Knowledge and Self-Care. What you don't really want to do, at least not while you're new, is have all your perks in one game dedicated towards one specific thing. So you don't really necessarily want to take 4 generator repair perks or 4 healing perks. You're not really going to be that efficient. You're always going to have to switch back and forth in the game between healing, repairing, getting in chase, and whatnot. So you don't want to completely dedicate yourself towards one thing. A common mistake is for people to take 4 chase perks and then just not have any efficiency in healing or generators, and that can be a waste of time too. Remember, it's all about efficiency and a balance of time between the survivors and the killer. Now, I didn't have that much time to talk through the game last match because we had the killer on us the whole time, so maybe this time we'll be able to talk through some of my thought process a little more, hopefully. Looks like we got 2 escape cakes and the killer's version of the escape cake. I want to re-highlight what's probably the most important thing from this whole video is that when you're a survivor, you need to be doing something at all times. At no point can you be crouching in the corner of the map or hiding in a locker, for no reason, right? There's a time and a place for those things, but you have to have something in mind. Alright, looks like we're on Coldwind Farms and we spawned with all our teammates here. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see what perks the killer has. Looks like he has Corrupt Intervention, which blocks 3 generators. It blocks the 3 generators furthest from the killer at the beginning of the game. We hear a heartbeat, we hear a zombie. It's the Nemesis from Resident Evil. Good old Nemesis from Resident Evil. Alright, so we saw him running right to left on the screen, and we know that he spawned in this corner of the map because the gens on that corner were blocked. Corrupt Intervention. So we're going to hop right on here. I'm going to save my toolbox for now, because I think while it's important to pop the first generator before the killer gets some slowdown perks going, it's also nice to keep the toolbox for when you really need it towards the end of the game. Now you start off with 7 generators and you need to finish 5, right? So more often than not, as the game goes on, it gets easier and easier for the killer to defend the remaining generators, right? Because there's fewer and fewer places they have to check. So you want to be careful not to do what's called regenning yourself, which is making the last 3 potential generators that you need to repair. You want to avoid having the last 2 generators right next to each other, because then the killer can just patrol a tiny area and it's very hard to get it done. So we see our 2 teammates over there with Bond, and we see someone down over there, and we see that person going to get them, so I know it's okay for me to stay here. I really want to finish this generator before the first person gets hooked, in case the first person down, in case the killer has a perk like Weasel or Pain Res, which will really diminish the progress on this generator. I'm actually going to switch to the toolbox here. You notice the bar on the bottom turned yellow for a moment. That's because I switched to the toolbox momentarily, because I wanted to make sure we finish that gen before Nemesis came over here before he popped it or whatever. He's gonna hook our teammate. We're gonna hide for a little bit. Not hide without any purpose, but hide just so in a place where we can see him walking away and know it's safe to unhook this person. They're gonna go do something else. I don't know. I could have healed them, but they wanna... Oh, they want to syringe themselves. So some killers, part of Nemesis' power is he infects you with whatever the virus is called from Resident Evil. And there are 3 syringes around the map that you can use to cleanse yourself from it. Really complicated, we don't need to get into it right now. But basically, he can hit you with his whip, or he can do its, you know, the normal basic attack, M1 it's called. Or he can hit you with the whip. But if you are infected by a Nemesis virus, and he hits you with the whip, you'll get injured. We see Dwight self-carrying in the corner. Oh, this is actually Felix, my bad. I could have healed him much faster than he could heal himself. But that's okay, we're doing alright. We have 2 gens done. So here's what I'm thinking. We know that 2 generators got finished on that side of the map. So we want to go to a different side of the map now, or a different part of the map. Make sure we don't complete all the generators on one side, and then have the remaining generators all be right next to each other. Now that's why Deja Vu is such a good perk, because it'll always show you the 3 closest generators to each other. And you'll know that you have to target those to prevent regenning yourself at the end of the game. We got a nice heal off with Botany. And we're going to sit on this gen for a moment and see what our teammates are going to do. Carol's going to open up that chest to get a syringe for herself. Now, if we had Kindred, I'd be able to see where Felix is at right now, but I can't, so... You'll notice we have the Prove Thyself bonus now on the bottom right. Here comes Nemesis. Oh, he has the perk Hex Ruin, which means when you're not touching the generator, it's going to be regressing. He's going to chase Cheryl, so I'm going to get back on it. Again, if I'm not in chase, I'm not healing someone, you got to be on the gens. And as soon as I heard his terror radius going further away, I went right back on it. Now keep in mind, as you saw last game, not every killer always has a terror radius. Usually, the terror radius, which is the audible cue that the killer's approaching, is within... it starts at a 24 to 40 meter range of the killer's location. So now I hear him coming. Gives us some time to walk away. Now we'll notice we don't have a pallet here to buy time. So I want to leave this tile immediately. You see him coming for us. So you notice how I'm rarely just running without looking where I'm going. And anytime I'm around a corner, I'm checking around the corners. A little check spot to see where the killer's at, while he can't see where I'm at. So you want to be doing that. You want to get used to your third-person camera point of views to see where the killer's at when he can't see you. Cheryl went down again. That's unfortunate, but we're going to get back on this gen. I'm actually going to toolbox this one because I have a feeling Nemesis is going to come straight back here. And I want to make sure it finishes so that it's not going to be, you know, kicked or regressing once I get forced off it. Now, we did get a loud noise notification. We got a noise notification that someone found Ruin, which is a hex perk that has a totem associated with it, and they cleanse that totem. So now the killer no longer has Ruin. I'm going to try and waste some time here, hopefully. Oh my god, okay, so I'm still healthy. Still have the pallet up. Let's try and drop this pallet on him right here. Couldn't quite get it. So if I crouched on this side of the pallet, I might have been safe from his whip, but couldn't quite do that. Now we did buy enough time for our teammates to unhook Cheryl and to heal her, so that's good. We only have 1 gen left, which is nice. We have, let's see, I see 1 unfinished here. I see Michaela working on 1 on that corner. She's getting chased now, and we have Felix coming for the unhook. Let's try and get all 3 people onto this gen. No, no, no. Come here. Okay, this one's fine. Oh, we have a really... Okay, our 3 gens are not too bad. I have Prove Myself. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to give them the Prove Thyself bonus since I'm within range of them, but I'm actually going to heal myself in the meantime. I think this is what we want to do. So they're getting repair bonus while I'm still healing myself, instead of just us all repairing. Now, it might be better for them to just heal me, but I think this is an okay option too. They could both just heal me pretty quickly, but this is okay. You'll see they're getting the Genera done really quickly with Prove Thyself. And now 3 of us on here, it's going to be done right now. Boom, done. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Again, most of the time someone's on a hook at the end of the game, the killer will stay next to the hook. But this guy is just like the ghost face, and for some reason he's coming straight towards us instead of camping the hook, which concerns me, because he might have Noed, or he might just be... That's not good. Looks like he doesn't have Noed since he's not trying to punch us. And I couldn't dodge his whip. But they got the unhook, and we took them again. You want to take chase away from the location where the killer wants to go. So in this case, the killer would love to have stayed close to myself and the other injured survivor, but I tried to take them a little bit away from that direction. That way they can get the unhook and heal up, hopefully. In contrast, what you don't want to do is, say you know someone's working on a generator that's almost done, you don't want to be taking the killer back towards that gen, right? Because now the killer's pressuring 2 people, and again, it reduces the efficiency of the team. He's gonna unhook me, and the killer's coming straight back. I want him to open the gate. We still have Shack pallet up. Checking the windows. I'm not in a good spot here. Yeah. But that's okay, you know, it looks like we're gonna get the same result as last game, which is 3 of the 4 survivors live, which is considered a win for sure. It's just unfortunate that it wasn't us, but that's okay. Definitely do not go into this game expecting to survive. You are not supposed to. Not bad. So let's look at what perks the Nemesis had. This is something I didn't do last game, but it's something you want to get into the habit of. So he had Lethal Pursuer, very, very popular perk. It shows the auras of the survivors at the very beginning of the match, so they know where to go immediately. He had Eruption, it's a generator slowdown perk. Corrupt, Intervention, that showed, or that blocked 3 of the generators. We saw one of them at the beginning. And then Ruin, which, again, it has a totem that's associated with any hex perk, and once you cleanse the totem, the perk becomes inactivated. Ruin makes it so that anytime someone is not touching a generator, it starts to regress. So not bad. We haven't survived yet, but we got 3 survivors out in each of the first 2 games, which is not bad. That's fine with me. I don't mind being the sacrifice if everyone else gets to get out. Alright, so for the last game for this video, we're gonna go ahead and use some perks that are not included with the base kit game on a character that's not included in the base kit game. We're gonna go hop into over my main Michaela over here. And we're gonna do a big anti-tunneling perk. So tunneling is when the killer targets, you know, it goes tunnel vision on one survivor until they're out. It's a very effective way to win games, but it's very unenjoyable for that survivor, as you can imagine. So it's kind of frowned upon. I play more killer than I do survivor, and I honestly think that if you need a tunnel to win, you probably don't deserve to win. But that's just my opinion. It's a big controversy, I know. We're gonna go with Windows of Opportunity, which is the most popular survivor perk in the game. It shows you the auras of pallets and windows. We're going to take Off the Record, which gives us kind of an extra health state for 80 seconds after we're unhooked, and also hides our aura for those same 80 seconds, makes it quieter. We're going to take Decisive Strike. In case the killer actually downs us within a minute of us getting unhooked, we'll get a chance to do a difficult skill check that'll stun the killer, and we'll get another chance to run away. Not that great, but pretty useful in certain situations. Lastly, we're going to take Dead Hard, a very popular perk that's been nerfed 3 times. You got to time it so that you use this perk within this 0.5 second window of the killer trying to hit you. So it takes, you know, it's a little bit of a skill-based perk, but very useful if you can get it to work out. It's not, definitely do not recommend for new survivors. I just want to show a different build for this game. Now we're also going to take a flashlight. Now here's the thing, flashlights, you know, they get a lot of TikTok clips, a lot of cool moments, right? You can blind the killer, you can do funny things, you can, of course, mainly what everyone tries to do is save the killer, or save a survivor from being picked up by a killer by blinding them with a flashlight at the correct time. But a flashlight is definitely less useful for winning the game than having a medkit or a toolbox. Now, it's not as fun, or it's more fun than those, a flashlight is more fun than those, but you should know that medkits and toolboxes are better, and as a killer, you know. Same thing, don't be too scared when you see 4 flashlights. There's a good chance that it's just going to be 4 people wasting time trying to get flashlight saves. So don't worry about it, alright? Again, it's all about time management, right? If you're getting chased, you want to waste as much time as possible. Now you have some resources around the maps, like pallets, windows, and whatnot, to help you waste time. We hear a Billy with a chainsaw, and we saw him run right to left, so we're going to go this way. We know that the generators in the middle of the map are usually very important because you'll have to get them done eventually to avoid a 3-gen, so we're going to hop on this one right away. Anyway, as I was saying, you have pallets to take up time, right? But there are a finite amount of pallets on every map. So you don't really want to waste them. It's a very careful balance between using them when you need to, but not tossing every pallet immediately. Because if you toss all of them in every chase, obviously at some point they're all going to be gone, and now every spot on the map is going to be what's considered a dead zone, where you just have no resources to escape from the killer. This guy has pain res, which means when he hooks someone on certain hooks, it gets a big explosion and regresses the gen. Looks like he's actually... oh no, there he is. We're gonna try not to get... so we're gonna pretend that didn't happen. Alright, yeah. Now, ideally what would happen here is the teammate who's not being chased would come and get the unhook, since we see one person on a gen, one person being chased, and one person not doing anything. So if you're the person that's not on the gen, not being chased, obviously you should be coming for the unhook. But it looks like Meg decided to just run away for some reason. That's fine. Kate realized it, and is coming to unhook me now. So that's something you want to be aware of with the HUD on the left side of the screen. You gotta be aware of what your teammates are doing. We have off the record on right now, so we can actually take one hit for the next 80 seconds. So I kind of want to save Steve here. Or at least take some attention away from him. In fact, it's not going to work, so we're going to hop back on the gen. The Billy's playing nice. A mean killer would go... oh, jeez. Straight back for me. We have 30 seconds left on decisive. So we're actually going to take some attention. I'm going to try and work him away from the hook. This way. What you don't want to do is be getting chased right next to the hook, because that makes it very difficult for... oh, our decisive's not going to pop in time, is it? No. So if you notice that, I was just a second late to using our decisive strike, which is really unfortunate. Otherwise, we would have been able to stun the killer there and hop off. Quick little stun. I do want to get grabbed. What is he doing? Oh, looks like he's going back to hook. Alright, we'll hop on this gen then. It'd be really nice to prove myself here, but we didn't take it this time, so... that is our loss. You can see the killer's trying to take Meg out of the game, which will put us at a very big disadvantage, and our teammates are trying to help her, but it's not gonna work out. So if at all avoidable, you really wanna avoid getting into a 3v1 situation. Because now, unlike what you saw earlier when there's one person on a hook, one person on a gen, one person getting the unhook, one person getting chased, when you have 3 people, you're basically just going to be constantly trading. And you're never really going to get a chance to have constant generator progress. And so you have no pressure, no time pressure on the killer. Now, Kate can sit on that hook for 60 seconds before reaching second stage. And that is enough time for me to finish this generator. I know that because it takes one person 90 seconds base kit to finish a gen. And I could see that I was more than 75% of the way done when she got hooked. We're going to finish this and then go for the unhook. As you see, we got to her with plenty of time left. And we hear him coming straight back here. Nice, he had decisive strike. So let's see, he got picked up within a minute of getting unhooked. So he was able to get another chance, a second chance. Now I'm trying to take note of what resources, what opportunities Windows is showing me. I see a pallet there and a pallet there. So you're trying to, when you're on a gen, you always want to know preemptively where you're going to be running to. So I know that as soon as I hear the killer's tear radius or see him approaching, I want to be running either that way or that way. And when you're in a 2v1 situation, or 3v1, it's the same thing as 4v1. You want to be aware, if you're getting chased or your teammate is getting chased, you need to be doing something, yeah? So I know that the killer is not on this side of the map because I don't hear his chainsaw, I don't hear his tear radius, which means I need to be sitting on this gen. Now I hear him. He misses us barely. That's fine. I actually did want him to hit me like that there. I did want that. Ooh, he almost got us with a curve. We're going to try and spend time on this pallet, and we're going to try and hit our dead hard. Try and hit our dead hard somewhere. Wait, there we go. Timed it just perfectly, but I don't actually have... No way! I thought he was going to collide with that wall. Okay. Well played, Mr. Booley. You see, if I had looked behind me there, I would have seen that he was actually going to make that curve. I didn't think he would make it, though, so I wasn't looking. I was trying to beeline it straight for the pallet, but that's alright. So last game wasn't so great, so we're going to try and survive this time with Nia, and we have another Nia here too with us. So we have our perks on the bottom right, as you can see, are Windows, Prove Thyself, Kindred, and at the very bottom we have Balanced Landing. Now what that perk will do is make it so that when you drop off a height like this hill over here, it'll give you a little speed boost. But it, like Dead Hard, which I had not explained last time, is what's called an exhaustion perk, which means it gives you the status effect called exhaustion 40 seconds after you use it. And so until you're not sprinting for 40 seconds after you use it, you won't be able to use it again. In practicality, what that means is that you can only use it once per chase with the killer, really. Alright, we saw some little white footsteps on the ground, and we hear a familiar tear radius, so we know it's Chucky, a little doll Chucky. Now most killers, not all, oh. Most killers have a unique tear radius or chase music. It's actually Tiffany version of Chucky. Anyway, so you'll be able to start recognizing tear radiuses eventually. But until then, just do your best. You see her coming here because we have Kindred. So we're going to pre-leave the gen. We saw a big explosion, so we know she has Pop Goes the Weasel. She has a dash, and she can't really turn well during it. We're going to fake on that way and go for this window instead. You see her red stain, she's going to hop it. Should come back this way. We might drop this pallet. It's not the best pallet in the world, so I don't mind using it. We're gonna run towards this pallet, actually. Now, you want to avoid using pallets immediately. I'm kind of stuck here. You see her red stain. We're going to drop it this time. She's going to break it. We have balanced landing, so let's use it. I know, she's going to leave us. She's going to leave us. Okay. So we still have balance in our back pocket. We're going to get back on this gen because you see it's regressing. So you need to touch it for 5% of the gen to make it stop regressing. And so we did that. I'm not going to heal right now, because in my opinion, right now, it's not the best time to do it. Lolita wants me to do something, but I want to hop on this gen. I think she wants to heal me, but I want to stay on this right now. Tiffany's still going. She lost her terror radius and her power, but we still see her coming. Still hear her coming. She's gonna hop that window really quickly. Gonna miss. We're gonna try and get balanced landing value here. I'm gonna keep running. She's gonna keep chasing me. Checking behind to make sure she's still following. She's still following us. I'm gonna make sure she's gonna go up this hill. She's gonna leave again. Okay. Unfortunately, she popped. Oh, see. So you use your balanced landing when you fall off anywhere, even if you're not in chase. So my mistake there was that I fell off that hill and activated my balanced landing. So now you'll see that heart over there on the right side of my screen means until that cooldown bar is done, I can't use balanced landing again. Little mind game. I'm gonna run all the way to this corner of the map. No one's over here. Hopefully she'll follow me. And if she follows me, we'll have wasted a lot of her time, because there's no one over here. Or is there? Oh, there is someone here. Oh no, it's my bad. So I was trying to take them away from all their teammates, but I was not aware that Renato or someone was over here. Ah, she got us. So we wasted a lot of her time. We see that there's decent generator progress on 2 different gens. Ooh, this person actually sabotaged that hook, which means that she can't use it right now. But there's another hook right here, so if she takes a hit, I'll be able to wiggle off. But she was not able to block the hook properly, so that's okay. Lolita tried her best over there. Now I'm on the hook, and I have Kindred, so they can see her aura. They can see Tiffany's aura in the pink over there. And you can see that Lolita's running away, so she's going to come get the unhook. Very nice, very nice. Again, I'm not going to heal right now. I'm gonna hop right on this gen. Let's finish this generator before Tiffany comes back and kicks it again for 30%. I think this is the best play. So that Nia is healthy and on 1 hook, so I'm gonna run away over here. And hopefully she's gonna deal with getting the unhook and whatnot while I do this gen. We have Kindred, so we can see Nia taking chase, and the killer running away over there, and we can see Renato going in for the save, so this is perfect. 1 person getting chase, 1 person getting the unhook, 1 person on a gen. Now with Windows, you can see the different opportunities that you have, right? So you have pallets to drop and waste the killer's time, because you can jump over pallets or they can't, but you have a finite number of pallets on the map, right? So you want to be very selective. You want to try and waste time around them before fully dropping it. Now, unfortunately, I'm not on a spot of the map where I can use balanced landing. I'm gonna wait to make sure she commits before vaulting that. You see her, keep an eye on her. Trying to keep an eye on her. You saw her go that way. Ah! She mind gamed us back. When someone says mind game, that's just referring to like the killer playing tricks with Or you and the killer, you know, kind of in the 1v1 situation. Trying to play tricks with which direction they're going by hiding their red stain. And you know, kind of like moonwalking around corners to hide the red stain. So yeah, keep in mind, that is something killers would do. They have the red stain to show which direction they're looking, but if they walk backwards around the corner, you're not going to see them coming, right? That's something to keep in mind and be aware of. So we see the little white footsteps running around, which is part of Chucky's power, which means that she's undetectable right now. But while Tiffany or Chucky are undetectable, you can hear them doing a little laugh when they're approaching, so that is something to listen out for. You definitely need headphones for this game if you want to not even do well, but if you want to have any chance of enjoying it, in my opinion. There are way too many audio cues to not have. At least earbuds, you know. Alright, we're gonna pop this gen, and then we have one more left. I'm gonna commit, even though it means I'm gonna lose the health state. I'm not gonna make it anywhere, so I'm just gonna drop that pallet. I need to make it to this hill, so I can use a balanced landing and hopefully run this direction. Yeah, we'll run this way. Ah, she makes it around the corner this time. Now, Talitha's gonna sabo that hook, but probably not gonna be enough to save me. Yeah, unless she takes a hit. Unless Nia takes a hit. She's trying. And we weren't able to wiggle off, unfortunately. But we got close, and there's only one gen left, and there's already more than 33% progress on that gen. So looks like we might have another 3 out this game. Even though I died, that's okay. You know, it's still considered a win for the team. Let's go ahead and spectate real quick, see what they're up to. Renato's cranking this gen. It's almost done. They should be able to finish it. You'll see that he has Botany, Self-Care, and Resilience. So he's getting a speed bonus from Resilience. And he'll be able to heal himself after this gen finishes. If he finishes it in time... Oh, not quite. Out, and he had Dead Hard. Oh, see, this is why it's really important to waste as much time as possible. That's a huge difference in the game, because I couldn't waste literally 1 more second of time from the killer. If Nia had been able to interrupt the hook, or if I had wasted a couple more seconds in chase, all the gens would be done and they'd be opening the gates right now. So every second really does count in some games. So let's see what Nia's gonna do. She's gonna go for the unhook. Delita's taking the killer's attention, but she's on her last life, so she's gotta be careful. They're gonna finish this gen, which is nice. And they're gonna go... Ooh. Ideally, Renata would heal... Oh no, she's coming back. So Nia has Object of Obsession. It's a perk that lets you see the killer's aura every 30 seconds. Or for like 3 seconds every 30, but it also shows the killer your aura. It's a big risk and reward. Now she's not on Death Hook, which is good. Renato's healing himself. Delita should be opening that exit gate, in my opinion. But it looks like she wanted to go for a sabotage build. One person should open the exit gate. Oh, it's gonna be tough. What do you do? Everyone's on Death Hook. Looks like Renato is gonna unhook safely. Nia's trying to take a hit while she has endurance from the unhook. But someone needs to get on a gate right now. Renato's going to the gate. See, right now, the leader should be opening a gate. One person's in chase. One person is going to the gate. The other person should be opening the other gate. You should know that chests are very... you know, they're a waste of time. Like, 80% of the time. It looks like Renato managed to open up this one, and he's gonna make it out. Now, when you're the last person alive, remember, there is a hatch that will spawn you can escape from, or you can go through the exit gate. And here's the problem. If Talitha had been opening this exit gate while Neo was getting carried, she'd be out right now. But instead, she's here, dead. So that's why it's very important. While the killer's occupied doing one thing, you need to be doing something else. Unfortunately, only one person survived this match, but hopefully you learned a bit. And you can learn from my mistakes. And hopefully you guys will survive one of your first 4 rounds of DBD. But don't be surprised if you don't. Lastly, a couple of notes on this game just to wrap up. You notice that Tiffany here had Pop Goes the Weasel. Again, that's why it was really important for us to finish generators before she came back to kick it. If not, you could lose 30% of the progress. Nowhere to hide, which means every time she kicked a generator, it shows the aura of any nearby survivors. Brutal Strength helps them kick stuff faster, and then Floods of Rage shows people's auras when someone gets unhooked from certain hooks. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully you found some part of it useful. If you'd like to see something like it, or maybe you didn't like it, let me know down in the comments. If you did enjoy it or found something useful, please drop a like. I would really appreciate it. There will be a killer version of this video coming out soon, hopefully. And if not, I'll see y'all around. Take care.